We are the ones who don't know what we're fighting for. Give us a gun and send us all off to war. We are the ones who grow up in violent homes. We are the ones who don't know what's right or wrong. I know. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck no more. No more. We are the ones who don't know why we're losing score. Give them a badge so they can send us to the morgue. We are the ones who are scared to walk out the door. We are the ones who don't know what we're dying for. I know. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck. No. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck no more. No. Get off his fucking neck. That makes you know. He can't fucking breathe. That makes you know. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck. No. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones. We are the ones. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck no more. No.
Warning: this podcast features adult subject matter, adult language, and things not meant for children to hear. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been warned. If it's Thursday, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, to the latest episode of the I'm No Joe podcast, a show where every armchair quarterback can feel like Eddie Bravo. Today, as like most days, I have got Galti here with me to break down all the shit talking and shenanigans, the fight announcements and fuckery, and all the fun that has trickled out the MMA pipeline since we saw you wonderful folks last. So before we get into all that fun, first off, how you doing over there, brother?
Another lovely day in paradise. One day closer to spring. We gain an hour of daylight this month, so I can't be mad.
Yeah, I get that. You vampires do, or us vampires don't like that, but you daywalkers do, rather.
Damn
So,
right. I need golf
there's
in my
that.
life.
I get that. All right. Well, we're going to kick things off here the way that we like to, with a little bit of news and recent events, fight confirmations, fight cancellations, rumors that have been officially confirmed or denied by the sources, and other fun fuckery that has trickled out that MMA pipeline we spoke of earlier since we saw you wonderful folks last. Luckily, not a whole lot of news to go over this week, but ironically, most of the news that we do have to talk about this week is kind of a big deal. So, first and foremost, we got the official confirmation directly from the UFC. March 21st is going to be the UFC London card from the O2 Arena. Main eventing Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy, winner to take on Alexander Volkanovski next. Can't say that it didn't take them long enough, but we finally got there. They are definitely stacking out that London card. Pretty interesting. Again, it's a fight night card, not a numbered card. It's a fight night card, which is what they've done the last how many fucking times they've gone to London for some reason. But they're stacking this one out pretty good. So March 21st should be a very interesting event. We got kind of a leapfrog situation here when it comes to Mexico City. First word we got was Asu Almabayev was out against Brendan Moreno, and the UFC was trying to find somebody to take on Moreno to keep the fight in place. They looked over to a couple other fights, and they did a little Jenga swap in here. So as of right now, Loner Kavanaugh, who was originally facing Bruno Silva, is now facing Brandon Moreno in the main event of Mexico City. Charles Johnson, who just recently got his ass kicked, is now stepping in for Loner Kavanaugh to take on Bruno Silva on that Mexico City card in 3 fucking weeks, 4 weeks from now. So, I'm not sure I would have taken a short notice fight at altitude in Mexico City if I was Charles Johnson coming off of a fucking knockout loss, but Charles Johnson's going to do what Charles Johnson's going to do. So it should be interesting because Bruno Silva's a bit of a tiny little fucking steamroller. So that should be a pretty fun little car crash between those two as well. But yeah, Asu Almabayev is officially out. Loner Kavanaugh is officially in against Moreno in the main event. And Charles Johnson is now officially stepping in against Bruno Silva on that undercard. Interesting turn of events just a few weeks out from Mexico City. That being said, directly from Bobby Knuckles' mouth himself, the Reaper gave an interview this week and said that people don't seem to realize I walk around 235 pounds on average. Everybody says I'm short for a middleweight, but I'm just short in general. If they're already taller than me at middleweight, they're still going to be taller than me at light heavyweight. And the last couple cuts to 185 have been a little tough, so I think it's time I'm going to move up to light heavyweight. Bobby Knuckles is going to 205. The Bobby Knuckles that we have seen go on literal historic runs in the UFC has been cutting like 60 fucking pounds to do that. Think about all of your favorite performances from Robert Whittaker, and then think about the fact that he cut like 60 fucking pounds to do that, and now he's just going to be cutting like 15 pounds, which at this point in his career is essentially water weight on fight week. If he's walking around about 230, cutting down to 205 to fight, shouldn't be anything fucking difficult at all. And I'm very curious to see what Bobby Knuckles with a little more meat on his fucking bones and a little more oomph behind his shots is going to do in light heavyweight, because I see some fun matchups immediately.
What I'm wondering is, does he go pack on even more fucking muscle?
And then keep cutting to, do the
Because,
same process, but bump up.
in theory, he could add more muscle and still make the cut. Maybe 5 or 10 pounds more muscle, but
Right,
that's all.
don't go crazy.
Don't go crazy, but it'll be a big jump up, and because he's going up, a lot of those guys cutting down are losing like 50, 60 pounds, just like he's doing to go to middleweight.
Yeah, a lot of the light heavyweight guys walk at 250, 260. So yeah, you're right on the nose for sure.
So I mean, to be honest, he's almost at he's getting pretty close to that area where you can go to heavyweight too, because there's some short heavyweight guys.
Yes, there are.
That do just fine. But
look at Jailton Almeida. Walked around and didn't cut any weight. Fought at heavyweight at like 235 for a hot fucking minute before he decided that he wanted to play heavyweight and light heavyweight both. He was just fighting at heavyweight at 235, cutting nothing. Whittaker could do that tomorrow if he wanted.
And I get it. Maybe he's looking at the division itself, and heavyweight is kind of sketchy. And not because it's a stacked division, but because anybody can shut your lights out at heavyweight.
That's a lot of what ifs at heavyweight for sure.
Don't get me wrong, light heavyweight's no walk in the park either, but there's a lot less what ifs, because at least some of the guys at light heavyweight are still trying to do other things other than just blow your brains out the back of your skull.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think there's a more interesting landscape at 205 than there is at heavyweight right now. But I think you're 100% correct. putting heavyweight on the table as an option is definitely a possibility for sure. If he's walking at 235 and cutting all the way to middleweight, now he's not going to cut to middleweight anymore. He very well could put on a couple more pounds of muscle and then cut down to 205 and
And
just be
I
shredded.
want to know, where are they going to throw him into that mix? Because like the top
That's
10 is stacked at light heavyweight right now.
there's no easy place to just
Because
throw Bobby
you've
Knuckles in to
got,
see where he
oh,
fits.
well, just off the top of my head, you've got fucking Alex is fucking holding the title right now. You've got Yuri. You've got fucking Junior over there. Fucking Khalil Roundtree. There we go. That's the junior I
Yep.
was looking for. You've got fucking, well, even though he's on downslope right now, Jamal
I was
Hill.
going to say Jamal's still right there as well. Yeah.
Blahovic is still over there. And yeah, the Polish power is gone, but that's a big test to go up to
That's
205
still
because a lot of people that have gone to 205 have to go through him.
I
And
was just going to say, look what happened with Adesanya when he thought he was going to walk through Jan Blachowicz coming up to 205.
yeah, it's
Everyone got surprised except Jan.
yeah, he did that to quite a few people.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rockhold as well.
yeah, so I mean, it's not going to be an easy walk in the park for anyone. The only person who made it look like an easy walk in the park to go up to 205 was when Alex fought him the first time.
Yeah.
And then it was okay, it's really not that bad. But then again, that's fucking one hand is death. He's only got to blow that hand by your chin. It doesn't even have to touch you and put your lights off. But
Right. Well, and I think Rob's walking around bigger than Izzy. I think Izzy said he's walking around right around 200 and cutting down to 185 ain't bad. It's just, he doesn't
no,
have a lot to cut because Izzy's not a fat dude.
well,
Bobby Knuckles got a little bit of family on him, so
yeah, and
I get it.
you look at the frame on them. The frame on Izzy is long and skinny,
Skinnier, yeah.
whereas fucking Bobby's kind of
He's kind of stacked, yeah.
stacked. I mean, look at him during his title run. He was a
Right.
fucking yoked son of a bitch. I'm not saying he isn't now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At 205, we might see that again because he said the 185 cut was difficult. Taking 20 pounds off of that, it's going to give him some wiggle room and it's going to give him a little bit more feeling good. So
Oh
he
yeah,
might just yoke back the fuck out at 205 for us.
it'll definitely be interesting. I'm
I'm here for it.
I want to see who they throw him against first because the dude's been perennial at the top of the pile for
Oh,
so
yeah,
goddamn long. I
decades
don't think
plus,
that they're
yeah.
gonna make him. They're gonna probably make him fight someone inside of the top 10 right away. That would be
Yeah,
my
they're not going to throw him a journeyman. They ain't giving him somebody unranked or nothing. He's going right
yeah.
to a number for sure.
This
Yeah.
is. We'll see how you do against somebody in the top 10. That's my
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get a top 5. I think it's gonna be somewhere between 5 and 10.
I
Just
was
as a
thinking
kind of
probably
a
7, 8-ish, more of a this is what we think. If you move up here, we're not going to make it easy for you. So that way, if you lose, it encourages you to go back to 85 kind of thing. But
yep.
at the same
But
time,
if
if you
you win
win,
in a great fashion, bam, rocket
it's a
fucking
quick
straight up
trip.
your butts because
Yep.
we need a little bit of change at the top because it's been a little stagnant. Because it's such a stacked division, it's been a little stagnant over there. It's just the way it is
Well,
because they're so good right now.
add to that, Alex is still actively, this last week included, giving another interview talking about potentially going to heavyweight only to fight John Jones. He's said multiple times now he does not care about the heavyweight belt. He's not interested in the title picture at heavyweight. The only fight that he wants at heavyweight is John Jones. And now John Jones is talking about, oh, I have severe arthritis in my hip and I can't wrestle against Cormier. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fight again. That kind of takes a lot of that steam out of the Alex going to heavyweight. So Alex might stick around. And I tell you what,
Well,
Alex versus Bobby Knuckles for that belt.
everybody could have saw that coming when you've got the biggest duck in all of MMA. Like, it's such a sad thing to see that somebody that was so great in their prime and is still a legitimately good fighter is so willing to duck people.
And pretend that that's not what's happening at the same time.
Because, I mean, look what happened when he, we'll fight Stipe, and then, I'm just going to just let the belt go.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
What champion? Yeah, what champion? What champion in any sport, in any division does that? No.
Oh, well,
No.
Tom Aspinall might whip my ass. Although, to be fair at this point, fuck, he probably would have gotten worse eye pokes from fucking Jones than anybody else.
That's true. But I
Although
was
that's
talking about
debatable considering somebody might be losing their fucking vision and not be able to fight anymore.
right. No, I was having that conversation with somebody the other day. Like, I genuinely think, and you call it being a hater if you want to, but I genuinely think that with the amount of time off with the whole Stipe incident, it really gave John time to reflect on the fact that after Stipe, if he genuinely would have fought Tom Aspinall, there was a better than nothing chance that what was going to happen to him was exactly what he did to Lyoto Machida.
Yeah, that young up and comer comes up and takes
That
out the
young
whole
hungry
fucking line.
lion takes the old man out. That's how it fucking goes.
Oh
That's how it
yeah,
happens in
I
every
mean,
fucking division. That's how it's happened since the dawn of fighting, man.
I mean, it's no different than fucking in the wild. You look at it. That lion can stay as the leader of that pride for a long time, but eventually
At
they get
some point.
old. Some young one's gonna come in and take that position. It's just how it works, and fighting's no different. That's why a lot of times we constantly harp on we want to see these guys retire because we know how great they were at one point. I mean, prime example, Andre fucking Arlovsky was an
Jesus
absolute
Christ, dude.
killer.
When
But
he
if
had
you
hair,
watch the last 10 years of fights of him, you would never have guessed that that dude would have ever have had a chance at a title shot or
long blonde
legitimately
hair
held it.
Arlovsky with the fucking pit bull fang mouthpiece
Yeah.
was a fucking problem.
And,
Point
and
blank, period.
a lot of people don't realize that because uh, unfortunately, because MMA is still so young in its infancy as far as a new sport is concerned,
Right, overall, yeah.
or well, let's say a new mainstream sport.
Right.
Pit fighting shit like that's been around for fucking a long time.
Thousands of
But
years, yeah.
I'm just saying, in a case like this where it's a legitimized big sport that has a huge draw at this point, there's a lot of people that are just getting into it that to me, I'll call them babies because a lot of them that are getting into it are younger, so they don't realize the same thing. Those of us who have been watching since the beginning, a lot of those fighters in the beginning, they didn't continue to fight after like
Oh no.
UFC
Just
10.
a couple, yeah,
It
just a
was like
couple of
couple
them.
runs and be done. Like there were a few exceptions to those rules. Like you saw Tank Abbott continue for quite a while, Hoist
Right.
Gracie, but a lot of those guys never got back to that peak that they were at one point. I mean,
Shit, most of the guys from UFC 1 never competed again after UFC 1.
yeah, a lot of them didn't.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
they literally helped put it on the fucking map, and they were like, "Nah, one's good for me. I'm cool."
hey, I can't blame them when you see teeth flying across the fucking ring and
Right?
shit like that.
Soccer kicks and fucking wrestling shoes and shit. Yeah,
'Cause, I
no.
mean, unfortunately, people miss out on those things like the old guys like Dan Severn. Dan
Right.
Severn was well, they called him the Beast for the fucking
I was
reason.
gonna say the Beast. Yeah,
I mean, and you had tons of other Don Fry.
yeah. I was gonna say, and you can't forget the Predator as well, Mister
Dude,
Fucking Mustache, dude.
and that dude, if you have any wherewithal to want to see some funny ass shit from an old, just cowboy sounding motherfucker, go watch Don Fry's social media shit. Because
Ye-
some of the shit that comes out of his mouth with a cigar in hand
Oh
is
yeah.
fucking hilarious and absolute gold.
Watching Don Fry's social media will increase your testosterone count, man or woman.
Oh yeah, because the amount of shit he talks about, the
Oh
way
my
people are pussies
god.
now is fucking great.
Don Fry is absolutely one of a fucking kind. His social media is always an interesting fucking rabbit hole to jump down once in a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest staying there too long because
Yeah, no, you
you'll
don't want to
be
hang out long.
no, because then you'll be questioning yourself for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah, but it's fun to take a gander at.
Yeah, well, I'm
Oh,
saying those old guys, they're gonna go down eventually, and unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see that Alex Pereira and fucking Jones fight because
no, I
Jones
think that
knows
ship
he
has sailed at this point.
Jones knows his ticket will get fucking punched to the goddamn after realm.
Right. If he was worried about Tommy Aspinall punching his fucking ticket, Alex would put a hole
He'd
through his
become
head.
the next he'd become the next ghost in those fucking little cartoons,
That's
joining the
right.
fucking ghost realm.
Boing. Yep. Oh, kids these days though.
Mm.
Um, speaking of, We got a weird kind of update this week. We got the official confirmation from the horse's mouth that Shavkat did indeed have to have a second surgery on his knee, and that it's going to be at least 9 more months before he'll be able to get back to full contact training, assuming this surgery was successful and all the recovery goes well. His goal is to be able to compete again before the end of 2026, which, if you need 9 months of recovery time and we're already in the second month of 2026, that leaves you a real small fucking window. And if you're spending the majority of that year recovering from a surgery, that's not a lot of time to do a lot of training. So hopefully everything works out for him, but that's putting a lot on your own fucking plate, to say the very least. But the interesting thing was that after Shavkat announced that he had a second surgery on his knee and that he's going to be out for at least the next 9 months, potentially longer, the UFC officially removed him from the rankings, having been not active for 423 days of competition. The ironic point that really just made me scratch my fucking forehead until it was almost fucking bleeding was, if you look, Colby Covington has been inactive from competition for 416 days, literally 1 week shy of Shavkat, and is still currently, as of right fucking now, ranked number 3 in the fucking division on the UFC's fucking website, despite having his ass handed to him in more of his recent fights than not. Recent being a very loose term, again, considering we're talking about him not having competed for 416 fucking days at this point. But 423 was the magic number to get Shavkat out. So by the UFC's own fucking standard that they are setting forth, if we don't have Colby Covington either fighting or removed from the fucking rankings by next week at this time, we can see the clear fucking favoritism isn't being hidden any longer. But I have a feeling we're still going to see Colby once we come back from our 2-week break after this show.
That clear favoritism has never been hidden. It's
No, but
always been blatantly fucking obvious. Because, look, I'll say it.
They're getting worse at pretending, I think.
They're more about what's going to line their pockets, not how long somebody's been inactive. That's, well, Shavkat, good fighter. Very good fighter.
Excellent fucking fighter, yep.
But because he's not a huge draw, doesn't talk a lot of shit, isn't going to sell pay-per-views, fuck him. We'll bench him. We'll re-sign him once he's re-healed. That'll definitely happen. But they'll push him off the carpet for the time being. And then, oh, we're just trimming the fat right now. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. UFC, definitely UFCing very hard. But the ironic bit about that is that Dana's totally cool with all of this, as he's trying to make his forte, over into the boxing world with Zuffa Boxing, which has gone laughably horrible for the first 2 events that they have put on. But then we got interesting news from outside of Zuffa in the boxing world this weekend that I had to talk about when I close out the news here today. Over this last weekend, Saturday evening after the UFC was done, Shakur Stevenson won the WBC belt, becoming a 4-division champion. And then this afternoon, Shakur Stevenson was stripped of his belt by the WBC, who said that they are going to arrange a meeting of their councilmen who will next fight for the now vacant belt that he literally just won Saturday night. And everyone kind of heard this and went, what the fuck? And then Shakur Stevenson himself let everyone know why this had happened. Because the WBC imposes a $100,000 fee to get their belt after you win it. That's paid directly to the WBC, not to the commission, not to an agent, not to a manager. You have to pay the WBC $100,000 for them letting you fight for your belt. And Shakur Stevenson told them to go fuck themselves. So they stripped him of his fucking belt 3 days later. The WBC has had a lot of issues in the last couple years, this is not going to help them because Shakari Stevenson, or excuse me, Shakur, I keep calling him Shakuri because Shakari Richardson got arrested over the last week, and that made me laugh because that was a fucking hilarious video, but that's neither here nor there. But Shakur Stevenson basically told the WBC, if it's give you $100,000 or not get the belt and keep my integrity, you can take the belt and shove that $100,000 invoice up your ass. I can't be mad at that in the fucking slightest, because if that is not one of the greatest examples of boxing blatantly ripping off its own fucking people to try and keep itself alive, I don't know what is. And with Shakur Stevenson, the literal 4-day fucking champion, willing to tell them, eat a bag of dirty dicks, take your belt and go fuck yourself. I'm not paying you to acknowledge the fact that I beat the shit out of your fucking champion. Hopefully it starts the precedent, because that's some bullshit. I understand that there's promotion and that there's matchmaking and that there are expenses, but you can't tell me that they don't make hundreds of millions of dollars from those events as a whole that they hold all fucking year long, but they're going to die without this 100K from the guy who just won their belt and became a 4-division fucking champion. No, you can fuck off with that. So I absolutely agree with Stevenson's decision here. That being said, that's what I've got for news. You got anything over there I might have missed this week?
Just thing we were talking about earlier, that it is official that Piper is going to fight Adesanya, which, meh. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. I hope Adesanya dog walks the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Just
That's bad matchmaking to begin with. I had heard rumors about it. We talked about this a little bit before the show. I had heard rumors about this matchmaking for almost a month at this point, at least a couple of weeks, but nothing had been officially confirmed. Neither Adesanya nor Piper nor any official channel had ever officially. And then while we were talking about this before the show, it is officially on the UFC website as of now, confirmed. So
yep, and the date for that I think was March
8th, I
28th.
believe. Yeah, I think it's
Let
the
me
week
double
after
check.
London. Yeah, because I think
Yeah,
London is the
March
21st
20.
and
No,
the
excuse
28th is
me. Yeah,
Seattle.
March 28th in
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't agree with the matchmaking, but at this point the UFC is clearly going to UFC whether we like it or not. So there is that. Um that being said, um we do need to take just a moment here. Obviously, the kid is not here this evening. That's because it is his birthday. So if you have not yet, click down below in the description, whether you're watching or listening to this. All of the links for Slow Bake's social media are down below. Go tell him happy birthday, because he is not here with us this evening, because he is out celebrating his another trip around the sun. Happy birthday, homie. That being said, we are going to kind of run down his segment just a little bit, because this is, in fact, the UFC's first official fight night of 2026. And boy, it leaves a lot to be desired, to say the least. Um, Again, we say it all the time. There's always some interesting diamonds in the shit mines that the UFC sends us through on some of these fight nights. But man, are you going to have to do some serious fucking trench digging for this one. There are a couple of matches that I will say I am kind of interested in here. Um, Danil Donchenko versus Alex Morono. I'm curious what Morono has at this point, because for at least the last couple of years, he's spent more time as a coach than he has as a fighter. And it's shown pretty much every time he's gotten in the cage as a fighter. So at this point, they're basically throwing him against the brand new nobodies and the unprovens. So even the UFC doesn't really have a whole lot of faith left in him. So I'm just curious as to what really is left for Alex Morono at this point, because realistically, nobody's going to let him keep doing this for much longer. That being said, I would be remiss as a Missouri boy if I did not mention the last minute addition to this card of Dustin Jacoby versus our hometown Julius Juicebox Walker. I am very curious in this fight. Jacoby has shown a lot of holes in his game recently. Juicebox is still kind of new to the UFC, new to the big scene, but a very, very capable fighter in his own right. If he plays this smart and he seems like he's in great fucking shape, he's off, he could come in here, fuck Jacoby up, and take a whole lot of thunder and make a real fucking name for himself real fast. I really fucking hope he does, because the problem with Dustin Jacoby is he also has a horseshoe stuck firmly up his ass sideways, and every once in a while he tips that bitch just the right direction and gets crazy fucking wins he has no right to get. And I do not want to see our fucking hometown boy fall victim to that horseshoe bullshit. But I feel like Juicebox should be prepared enough to go in there and get some fucking work done. So let's go fucking Juicebox. Polish Power is on the line here. Alexicek versus Barrialt is a very, very interesting matchup to me. Obviously, Marc-Andre Barrialt has, you know, some of the best wrestling in the middleweight division, full stop, fucking Olympic accreditation. Like, the man knows his shit. He's a pretty decent fucking striker as well, but he definitely has a suspect chin. And Mikhail Alexicek might not be the best striker in the world, but when that man plants his fucking feet, he has got devastating fucking power. So this could be a very interesting or a very boring fight for me. I'm very confused on who's going to get the better of the two here, but I guess it depends more on how Barrialt really shows up. If he wants to stand and bang, this could be interesting. If he decides he wants to be a wet blanket, we could be interesting on a different reason, though. I'm not thrilled with the co-main event, but I am kind of thrilled with the co-main event, if that makes sense. I don't understand why the UFC insists on shoving Amir Albazi down our throats when we have not seen anything from him that has been even remotely good. uh he's been there, but he's never been, oh my God, get this guy to the top, or oh, that was cool. It's always like, yeah, that was Amir Albazi. But here we go again. He's in the co-main event. The reason I am okay with it is because the one that he is matching up against is Kyoji Horiguchi, back for another run in the fucking UFC. If you are not familiar with Kyoji Horiguchi's resume, please take 5 minutes out of your day and familiarize yourself with it, because that man is fucking amazing. The fact that he is back to the UFC now once again, I am very excited for, and hoping that he has still got enough to make things interesting here, because he went on a hell of a run on his last stint outside of the UFC, to say the very least. Um, I don't know how else to phrase it. I don't like this main event. I understand that this is a fight night and that this is essentially a card full of contractual obligation matches, but I don't like this main event. This is number 7 versus number 18 in the UFC in a main event here. This is a guy in Mario Batista who is getting known for decisions more than anything else. Um, Granted, Vinicius Oliveira is a very potential up and comer. He has got some very interesting highlight reel finishes. Um, Seems to be fairly well rounded, but at this point, why the hell are we opening the third card of the year with a guy who's barely in the top 10, decisioning and wet blanketing his way there, against the guy who isn't even in the top 15 rankings yet? There are plenty of other fighters. There are plenty of other matchups that could have been a decent main event for this, but this is what they set and stuck to. I really hope I'm wrong. Like I say all the time, I'm not infallible by any stretch of the imagination. Quite often, I'm more happy to be wrong than I am to be right when I talk about fights like this. I would much rather this be a very entertaining 5-round main event. I just don't think it's going to be. I think Oliveira is still too young in his career, and I think Batista is too set in his boring fucking ways to be exciting here. And I genuinely hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. What do you see on this card that gets you excited, Golf T? You're muted.
Thought I unmuted myself. Apparently, I didn't hit the button when I thought I did. I'm going to point out something that I don't think anybody else is going to point out. And that is Jacob, is it Vilklech? The Polak that sent Patchy Mix packing.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember how.
I want to say it's Vilklech,
I
but
want to say that they pronounce it Wiljack.
I'm
Something
probably
along those lines.
murdering it because, well,
It's Polish, and I understand it's not pronounced the way that it looks. It's not phonetic.
yeah. Either way, he did send Patchy Mix packing, and he made it look very easy.
This is very
If
true.
you go and you watch that fight, he decisioned him very fucking easy. Yeah, he's getting a other relative unknown and Gofroth, but I mean, it's something to keep an eye on. I'm not saying anything's going to be exciting about it, but it is something that piques my interest a little bit because we all know what Patchy Mix did outside of the UFC and looked like absolute dog shit once he got here.
Yeah.
I mean, he got his shit kicked in by part of the main event in Mario Batista. And then he gets his second and only other fight in the UFC against Jacob, who is on the prelims right now. I'm just saying it's a guy to keep an eye on. See if was it a fluke occurrence or was it Patchy Mix that fucking terrible, or is Jacob possibly have something to show the world? I'm not
Very
saying
true.
anything is going to come from it because, well, after watching Patchy Mix's 2 performances in the UFC, it kind of looked like when they brought in CM Punk, almost that bad.
Right.
Oh, not quite that bad. That's a pretty fucking low bar. Excuse me, but it was that kind of bad. It wasn't what you
Comparable.
expected out. Yeah. Um. Another one that I am kind of excited to watch is going to. Well, I won't say excited, but it's one that I want to keep an eye on, and that's Nikolay Veretennikov and Nico Price. Veretennikov, I do not think belongs in the UFC. From what we've seen out of his 3 fights here, he does not look that great. Nico's been around for a while. Nico's also one of those guys where he's kind of on the fence on whether he should be here.
Right.
I'm excited to see this fight to see who the fuck gets cut.
It very well could be a loser goes home.
It feels like a loser goes home situation to me. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Veretenikov's last 3 fights in the UFC, he got beat by fucking number one and foremost, Mr. Van Zant.
Which
Mr.
should have been a
Page Van
fireable
Zandt.
offense. Which should have been a fireable offense, I would say,
Yes.
immediately. Could cut that bitch end of the broadcast, set him with his fucking walking papers and his cash money.
Then he let a guy who normally gasses beat him in Punalehe Soriano.
Soriano, yeah.
He is usually either he knocks you out or he gasses. He let him decision him. Veretennikov, I don't think he belongs here with that. Which is kind of a bummer because generally a lot of the fighters from Kazakhstan have been pretty fucking good.
Fucking good, yeah.
For the most part though, this is a definite hangover card. I am very stoked to see that fucking we may possibly get to see the one and only Afghan on the card lose his. Oh no, excuse me. There's 2 Afghans.
Oh, no,
Both
no,
Boss Shot Brothers
both
are.
the brothers are on the card. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I didn't mention
Farid
either of them.
and fucking Javid.
Yeah. That's why I didn't mention either of them because they could both go fuck themselves.
Yeah, they're both fucking terrible. I forgot that both of them were on this fucking card.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, Farid is the better of the two. And there's definitely air quotes, and
Some
yeah,
air
I'm
quotes into
saying
that.
that very loosely. He's been a decision machine, and nothing great to even make me think that there's going to be anything better. So I'm really hoping Jean Matsumoto comes in there and just fucking destroys him.
I hope so. I fucking hope so.
I mean, Matsumoto's put away fucking Brad Katana, and then I think he got beat by Rob Font. And then he's back on the win column after his last fight. I don't remember who the fuck it was. By the way, he hasn't looked terrible. So I'm hoping it's somebody who can derail this boss shot and show that both of these guys. Well,
Miles
it is
Johns.
Miles
It was
Johns was who
it was
they.
at Splitty City with Miles Johns last year.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, I'm just hoping that it's cool to have two fighters from Afghanistan in the UFC because I love seeing fighters from other countries, especially ones where you don't expect there to be somebody to
Yeah.
make it to this level. There also has to be the expectation of maybe you're not quite there yet. And to be honest, I feel like both the boss shots shouldn't be here quite yet. They both have some potential, but they've yet to realize it enough to where I think they deserve to be here. To be honest, I think this is part of the UFC's inclusion program just to make sure that they're saying, well, we're hiring everybody. We're not discriminating based on country of origin.
Right.
Because that's kind of what that feels like to me. Um, Dilachchek and Andre Barrial, that's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm 100% on board with what you said about the co-main event. It's not exciting because I'm sick of looking at Amir Albazi, another person who I feel is part of their inclusion event because he's from Iraq. Kyori Horiguchi's been around. Now, his first outing back into the UFC wasn't great, but I think that's also his legs getting back under him. And the other part of that is, yes, I know what he did outside of the UFC, and I know what he did on his first run in the UFC. But he's also 35 years old. However, at flyweight, 35 years old isn't that bad. We've seen a lot of guys that are older in flyweight, bantamweight, where they still can make a really good fucking deep run. Horiguchi has that fucking potential to me. And holy puke bucket of a main event. Like, this is like, I feel like I went out and got really fucking hungover, and then I'm puking the next morning. By the way, I've never actually done that. But I'm just saying that's kind of what I would assume that this feels like. Because this is not how you main event it. I, to be honest, you could have put almost any other fight above that as the main event. I would have been okay with fucking Veretennikov and Nico Price over this. But, where it's, I don't know, how do we have a hangover card when there's not pay-per-views anymore?
Because the UFC refuses to give us all quality and spaced out cards like they used to because they 45 events a year.
Yeah, it's a fucking problem. Either
Yeah,
way, as a whole, this card I will say is not it's not a contender. It's not a contender card. It's a literal fucking trash bucket card. To me, overall, this just isn't a great card. There's a few little highlights in there to take a look at, but it's not anything that I'm gonna call people to say, "Hey, you really need to watch this because this is gonna get you into the UFC." This is not a card that you introduce people into the UFC with. This is fucking god awful. And who knows? Based on what Paramount Plus put out last week, I am not thrilled with the Paramount Plus deal. Because from what I understood, the first fucking one where they were playing all of their fucking ads during corners and shit like that. Oh, well, we'll just move off. If I don't know if this is what happens, but it looks like they just moved the ads off to the side so you could still see the corner work. I don't give a fuck about that. I want to hear what's going on in the corners. Like, as an avid fan, they fucked us.
They got the corners better for most of the main card, but pretty much all of the prelims last week were still heavy fucking commercial breaks. And for most of the prelims, when they would cut the corners over so you could still see what's happening during the fight, you would get the little commercial, and the commercial's audio would be playing over the fights as well.
Yeah, and
I did realize just yesterday though, Paramount Plus for main cards only. I didn't realize this until yesterday. For the main cards of all the broadcasts, apparently on Paramount Plus, once it hits to the main card and it forces you to switch the fucking broadcast, if you go back to the main menu on Paramount Plus for the main cards only, has a multi-cam view, and it's the
I did
equivalent
see
of
that,
like the
yes.
Sunday NFL all the games thing
So
for
you
the
can
UFC.
watch the different
So
angles.
I'm gonna test that out this weekend and see how that works because I've got the Paramount Plus, no ads. Fuck you. I shouldn't be seeing commercials, kid, even though I had to still see commercials. So I'm gonna try that out this weekend and see how the multicam view shit
You
works
know,
out.
that's
But
another thing that bothers me is all the people that are paying for the Paramount Plus without commercials and are still having to see
still get
commercials during
them.
this. That's some bullshit.
I'm
Why?
hoping the multicam view might cut that out because it's gonna have to be multiple different feeds fed through. So we'll see. We'll find out. I will report back in 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah, let me know how that works, and then because I saw it, I just didn't feel like fucking monkeying with it. But
I didn't even realize that it was a thing until literally I saw a dude showing how to do it yesterday, and I went, "Fuck! I would have loved to have watched
well, I
the numbered
saw
events like that."
what I saw somebody did a screenshot of. There's multicam views that you can do where you can watch from like 3, 4 different angles
Yeah,
of the same fight. I'm like, that's perfect because there's a
that's what
lot
I
of
wanted.
times where I hate to say it, the guys in the fucking truck are terrible
Yeah, they don't
because
give
the
you the
ref will
right
be
fucking
right in the
view.
fucking way. Like I'm trying to watch the fight here, and the ref's standing right here. You can see
Yeah,
these little bits movements. I'm going, quick, fucking change the goddamn angle. But,
yep,
it's
yeah. So
good to
we'll
know
see how
that
that
we
one
have
plays
the
out.
option now to look around where we want.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna test that out this weekend and see how that one works out for sure. Um, Other than that, though, I will say the one other fight that I'm kind of curious about. I don't really know that I can call it a contender, but it's it's got some potential. It could very well be a 15-minute fucking snooze fest. But Song Wang, the Joker that we saw come into the UFC with a fucking crazy flash and then get subbed out and then go for a hard fucking decision after that, is back up, and the UFC has basically tossed her a softball in Edwira Moira. Um, Moira is essentially a body for ladies at 125. She's not really that well rounded. She doesn't really have any threatening skills or anything like that. So this could potentially be a big comeback move for Song Wang getting in there, getting a potential big finish. But if she hasn't worked on her fucking ground game after getting submitted, this could also be 15 minutes of Moira just laying on her and holding her to the fucking ground. So I can't say it's full on contender or contender status, but if the Song Wang that we got glimpses of early on shows back up this weekend, could be a very fun match for sure. Other than that, it's going to be a rough one, folks. So strap in and make sure you got plenty of popcorn. That being said, there is one segment on the show that does require its own individual disclaimer. So if you would, Tapology.com in no way, shape, or form supports, sponsors, or endorses the I'm No Joe podcast. Yet. That being said, Tapology does give you the option to go onto their site, make a free account, and make fantasy style MMA picks like we do here on the show. They even let you make groups. So we made one. It's called ImNoBookie, all one word, or group 965, however you need to find it. The group is open to the public. You are welcome and encouraged. Make yourself an account, join the group, and then put your picks head to head with ours in a little segment that we call Tapology with TJ.
All right. So after last week, realizing that there were no picks to be had, I realized I didn't have to tell myself that I fucked up. I didn't, 'cause, that was great. So we come back strong with the strong hand. By the way, we're jumping right into this. So if you guys are watching us for free, not a member of the Patreon, I know you're some cheap bitches. And there's nothing wrong with being a cheap bitch. I have no problem with that. So if you're going to continue to be a cheap bitch, go over to Tapology, join Tapology. It's absolutely free. Join our group, Group 965. I'm no bookie, however you have to find it. Let us know who you are. We'll hold your picks accountable just like we do our own. You'll get a pat on the back when you do well, and you'll get told when you really trip over your dick or beef curtains or whatever the fuck it is you have. Maybe you're an albino fish. I'll have to figure that one out when it comes to it. But we'll hold you accountable. Now, if you don't want to be held accountable but do want to join the group, that's fine too. Just make sure your screen name isn't one I recognize, because if it is, I'm going to call you out. Now, that being said, jumping into last week's UFC 325, Volkanovski Lopez 2. One, I think we all called it. Volk in a rematch is a scary son of a bitch. He worked Lopez every one of those fucking rounds. Don't get me wrong, he did get sat down once. But to be fair, the rest of that fight, other than that sit down, was dominated by fucking Volk. And credit to Lopez, he kept trying to stick in there. And apparently with 2 broken feet by the sounds of it, which is even more fucking impressive. He had 2 flat tires and was still going at it. Excellent. If you haven't watched it, go back, watch the fucking replay. It is definitely worth your time. There was a few other fights that were worth your time as well, but that fight in particular was fucking fantastic. But anyhow, coming back with my strong hand off of vacation, apparently I just needed to reset. Taking that top dog spot there. To be fair, Donna put up a good fight. And I will also say, I thought I was shitting the bed at the first fucking like 4 fights, because in the first 4 fights, I had 1 of 4 correct. I was like, well, welcome back from vacation, dickhead. But it all turned around in the back end, which was fucking great. Donna did try to keep up. And unfortunately, that older age, you have a harder time keeping up. And to be fair, I had a bunch of fucking perfect picks. It's like there was 2 semi-perfects, 2 perfects, 3 decisions I called correctly. So I was on one last week. I'll give it that. Now, at the bottom of the pile, there was a fucking race for a while to see who was going to be that dog at the back of the pack running through everybody else's shit. And in this case, it's probably the DD of the night, which is Vinny. Since he's DDing for Christian, I'm gonna guess here, since Christian's birthday, he's gonna get fucked up. Actually, who am I kidding? They're probably gonna fucking call a cab or an Uber. Anyhow, Vinny did shit the bed last week. 4 of 13 correct. That's a rough fucking week. By all standards, that is a rough week. In fact, the next 2 on the list there, Meter and Christian, all below 50%. So it was a rough week in the group for sure. But we have it all to turn around. Now, in case you weren't aware, in 2 weeks, when the next event is, or 2 weeks from this weekend, so we will be starting the next Grand Prix. What it's going to be called at this point, I have no earthly idea. Maybe it's the early spring thaw out. Maybe it's the go fuck yourself and find out. Who knows? We don't know. We don't care at this point. We just know that those invites are going to go out. So those of you that are listening to the all audio podcast next week still have time to come over and join Tapology, join the group, and get an invite to that Grand Prix. Go over there and do it, you cheap bastards. If you're not going to be cheap, at least join the Patreon. I don't like to beg for things, but I would like a new computer once in a while. And right now, I don't make shit, so all new computers come out of my pocket. I'm just saying, it would be nice to get a paycheck for this at some point in my life. But on the other side of this, to be honest, we do this because we love it. Otherwise, we wouldn't fucking be here. Because if you're doing something for this many fucking years and not getting paid to do it, it's for the love of the game. It's not for the money. I'm just saying, it would be nice at some point. So if anybody's listening, has an in for some computer parts and wants to send me some, feel free. I will not say no. I'm a nice guy. Now, all that being said, we're going to skip over to the odds this week, and I will not be using BetMGM as they do not have any odds up on the site that I use. So we're going to go with, I think we're going to use FanDuel this week because, I don't think I've ever fucking used them, and why the fuck not? Oh, there are a couple of slightly wide odds. I won't say really wide odds, but I'll say slightly. For the most part, everything is kind of coin flippy. So we'll start with Eduardo Mora and Wang Kong, which ironically was just talked about a couple of minutes ago. They are literally throwing Wang Kong a slow softball, giving her a minus 370 favorite coming into this weekend. Eduardo Mora at a plus 280 underdog. Slightly wide odds, and well, long as Mora doesn't get her on the ground, those odds are absolutely correct. I will not give her any credit for being a ground game, because obviously what we've seen from Kong is she has no ground game, including how to get back up. Couple others that we're going to touch on here that are slightly wide odds here is going to be the Farid Basharat and Jean Matsumoto. They've got Farid coming in as a minus 290 favorite over Matsumoto. Like I said earlier, this is one where I kind of want that to go the other way because, well, it's not really, it's not the piece that I think it needs to be. Another fight that I talked about earlier because I think somebody might get walking papers, Nico Price and Nikolai Veretennikov. Veretennikov coming in as a minus 280 favorite over a plus 220 in Nico Price, which to me seems a little odd. That seems more of a coin flippy fight to me. But, what do I know? We've only been watching this sport for fucking decades at this point. And I say decades legitimately. I watched UFC 1. I've watched UFC 2. I've watched every fucking UFC. Well, I can't say every, but the vast majority of them. I'm probably at a 99% clip rate or better at this point. Unlike some folks that might be newbies and maybe finding this channel for the first time, it's okay. We accept you for who you are. Just know that we will not judge your crazy ass picks when they're wrong as two boys in the woods. I won't finish that statement because I might hurt somebody's feelings. Now, onto the widest odds on the card, which is in the Alex Morono and the Donchenko fight. Morono coming in as a plus 490 underdog. Daniil, a minus 750 favorite. Yeah, what does that tell you about Alex Morono? We might be on something when we're talking about things. I mean, if you go back, roll your tapes back just a little bit, listen to where Meter is talking about Alex Morono. He had a good run for a while, but where does he fit in right now? It's not like we don't know what we're talking about. We've been here for a minute. That's all I'm saying. Oh, there was one other minor odd or minorly wide odd one I forgot, and I do want to mention it because it is also another fight we did touch on. Marc-Andre Barriault, Michael Oleksiejczuk. Barriault coming in as a plus 310 underdog, and Oleksiejczuk coming in as a minus 420 favorite. Well, there's some pretty wide odds for something I don't think should be that wide. I think that should be a little bit closer because those two journeyman fighters have been around for a while. So I think both of them at this point can be considered crafty veterans. Not great crafty veterans, but crafty veterans. So, but who might have called the odds on that one? We'll see. But now, as per usual, we'll cover the co-main and the main. The co-main, which I am very thrilled to announce, Amira Albazi is a plus 300 underdog. Kyoji Horiguchi, a minus 400 favorite. Some nice wide odds there for you in a co-main event spot. You gotta love it. You love to fucking see it. We never see that in co-mains or mains anymore. They're always pretty coin flippy. So, like I said, pretty coin flippy. Main event is prime example. Vinicius Oliveira, Mario Bautista. Bautista coming in as a minus 174 favorite. Oliveira coming in as a plus 136 underdog. Coin flip. Pretty fucking coin flippy. So at this point, just know that there's not a lot of super wide odds if you like to make crazy bets. If you want to make money this week and you're a betting person, parlays are your friend. Know that because a lot of these are coin flippy. Your parlays are probably going to be pretty fucking coin flippy too, and they're gonna be rough coin flips. Like some of them are on a razor's edge. But that's all I got for you. If you're gonna bet the house, I advise against it. But if you win big and bet the house, feel free to send us some computer parts or join the Patreon. Maybe just a 1 month membership for like $1,000. I won't be mad. I'd be pretty thrilled. Even with the we go as low as $1. As low as $1 on Patreon. Come on over. In the meantime, while you're listening and watching this for free, go join fucking Tapology. Do the right goddamn thing. It's fun. It's fucking free. You don't have to tell us who you are. But I'm telling you, it's going through and making those picks every week. Think of it kind of like fantasy football, except for somebody generally gets knocked out or choked at least once during the entire event. That doesn't happen in football. It doesn't happen in baseball. You're literally saying how this person is going to finish him. Join us. It's a good time. That's all I got this week. We'll see y'all again in 2 weeks, which is great because that means next weekend I'll have nothing to do on a Saturday except for maybe drink some bourbon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. Always appreciated. That is going to do it for what we have got for this particular evening. If you are new here, first and foremost, thank you for tuning in. We do this pretty much every Thursday when there are fights to talk about that weekend. We try and go live around 9 p.m. ish Central Standard Time. We dual cast it youtube.com/@ImNoJoe and twitch.tv/ImNoJoe. It's up on both. We leave the replays up on both. If you enjoy them, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure your notification bells are turned on so you don't miss any of these episodes. If you really get up to, or excuse me, if you really dig what we get up to around here, the best way to support us doing that, like we mentioned earlier, patreon.com/ImNoJoe for as little as $1 a month. As much as you are comfortable giving, we have got levels for everybody in between. And any level of the Patreon, first and foremost, we put your name up on the end of every broadcast that we put out on this channel so that everyone knows how fucking awesome you are for supporting us. But more than that, we give you unrestricted access to all the behind the scenes, the unaired, and the unairable content that happens here on the channel. Everything that got us kicked off of OnlyFans is up on the Patreon. Not to mention, we are also putting out Patreon exclusive content as well. Flitlock, who is not here this evening either, and myself do a show called right before the big numbered or the pay-per-view events. We break down all the fights going on, bring you all the news. Those go Patreon exclusive once they are done being live. Plus, we put out some stuff that's just for the patrons as well, just for the folks who contribute, because we appreciate you just the same. So if you like what we get up to around here, there is plenty of ways to get more of it. There is plenty to be had and plenty of ways to help us do what we do. But when we close shop around here, that is not the end of the fun, because tomorrow and pretty much every Friday, the young guy who's out celebrating his birthday this evening, Slow Bake, and his other half will be dropping their podcast, Slow Bake and Contemplate, over there on Spreaker.com. Links to all of their social media down in the description, whether you're listening to this or you are watching it. Go down there, click on the links, tell the kid happy birthday. It's a good fucking time. That being said, if you are so inclined, know that he does not check them often, but the links to Golf Tee's social medias are also down in the descriptions, whether you are watching this or listening just the same. Feel free to go over there and tell him how correct our fucking picks are and how much you appreciated his segment giving you all the odds and telling you what not to fucking bet on and saving you your ass.
He's 100% right, and also thank you. I do not check my socials hardly at all. So if you get left on unread, don't be pissy. Just know that I don't care about social media. This is as social media as I get. If you see me in public, you fucking didn't. I like to keep my private life private. But anyhow, now, on the other side of that coin, since we have a 2-week vacation coming up here, not that I'm actually going anywhere this time, but you'll have some downtime. There's not going to be any kicky punches that we're talking about next week. So in the meantime, go down below, linktree/the meter does many things, linktree/ImNoJoe. Doesn't matter which way you go, get over there, check out each and every one of the many things that the meter does do. And who knows, you might learn a thing or two. It's going to be worth your time. And there's constantly new stuff coming out. Somebody is way more apt to check their social medias than I am, and it is that guy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. Always appreciated. Like I mentioned, we try and do the show live pretty much every Thursday where there are fights to talk about, and then I leave those replays up on both YouTube and Twitch as long as they are allowed to stay. If you missed us, feel free to go back and watch the replay. If you missed us on purpose, fret not. We also own mirrors, and for that very reason, the week after we go live on YouTube and Twitch, we put the all audio version of the podcast out for free as well. Anchor.fm/ImNoJoe takes you to your podcast consumption platform of choice, Google, Spotify, Apple, whatever you use to listen to shit. You can pick up the all audio version through the Patreon.com/ImNoJoe if you want to help out. YouTube.com/@ImNoJoe for all the videos. And on fight weekends, I try and put up shorts showing you the finishes. If I get a chance to, things have been crazy the last couple of weeks, so I haven't gotten a lot of them up. I am going to try and get better at those as well. But that is all we have got for this particular episode. So until next time, boys and girls, remember, don't let ignorance stop you. You can root for anything.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh.